Nigeria's news update today, April 28, 2025. INEC chairman calls for electoral reforms ahead of 2027 elections. FG directs WAEC, NECO to adopt CBT for exams 2026. Court sentences late Nigerian gospel singer Osinachi's husband to death by hanging. 50 kg rice price dropped to 58,000 naira in Nigeria. Beating, harassing civilians in military uniform wrong, says Army Chief. Access Bank reacts as ex-worker is arrested for serial recording of colleagues in restroom. Summary of the news. INEC chairman calls for electoral reforms ahead of 2027 elections. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Mahmood Yakubu, called for ongoing reforms in Nigeria's electoral legal framework during a 2-day retreat in Lagos with members of the Joint National Assembly Committee on Electoral Matters. The event gathered INEC, lawmakers, electoral stakeholders, and development partners to address challenges in the electoral sector. Yakubu emphasized the importance of legislative reviews to improve the electoral process. He recalled the success of the March 2020 retreat, which led to the enactment of the new Electoral Act 2022. Key reforms from past changes including an extended timeline for elections, allowing 180 days between party primaries and elections, and the local production of sensitive election materials for the first time since 1999. Despite these improvements, Yakubu highlighted ongoing challenges such as strengthening legal backing for technological innovations, reducing litigation, and adopting good practices from past reform reports. He stressed the importance of such retreats for deeper engagement and better understanding of election management issues, with the goal of fortifying Nigeria's electoral framework for future elections. FG directs WAEC, NECO to adopt CBT for exams 2026. The federal government of Nigeria has directed WAEC and NECO to fully adopt computer-based testing (CBT) for all examinations by 2026. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, announced this during a monitoring exercise alongside JAMB officials. Starting November 2025, WAEC and NECO will begin administering objective papers via CBT, with full CBT implementation for both essay and objective papers by May-June 2026. Alausa emphasized that this move aims to reduce exam malpractice. Meanwhile, JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede clarified that JAMB exams have always started at 8 a.m. and early arrival at 6:30 a.m. is required for accreditation. He dismissed complaints about early reporting times and reassured that no candidate was assigned to unintended centers. Over 1.6 million out of 2.03 million candidates have completed their exams, with about 50,000 left. Oloyede also revealed over 40 candidates have been arrested for malpractice and more than 41,000 registered candidates are underage. Court sentences late Nigerian gospel singer Osinachi's husband to death by hanging. Peter Nwachukwu, the husband of late gospel singer Osinachi, was sentenced to death by hanging by the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) in Abuja. He was found guilty of culpable homicide in connection with Osinachi's death on April 8, 2022. Osinachi's death, initially attributed to cancer, was later revealed to be the result of domestic violence, with testimonies indicating that Nwachukwu kicked her in the chest before her death. He faced a 23-count charge including homicide and spousal abuse. The court sentenced him to death for the homicide charge, along with additional prison terms and fines for other offenses. 50 kg rice price dropped to 58,000 naira in Nigeria, says report. The price of a 50 kg bag of rice in Nigeria has dropped significantly to around 58,000 naira, especially in remote areas, due to an influx of rice imported through the Republic of Benin. This follows India's removal of export duties on parboiled rice, leading to a surplus in West African markets. Between September and December, India exported 2.11 million metric tons of parboiled rice to West Africa, up from 720,000 metric tons the previous year. For the whole of 2024, exports rose to 5.35 million metric tons from 3.9 million in 2023. Warehouses in Benin are reportedly full, and Nigeria, being a major consumer, continues to see illegal rice imports. Local rice prices have fallen from 80,000 naira to 9,000 naira to around 60,000 naira, while Indian imported rice prices have dropped to about 80,000 naira. Despite lower prices, demand remains weak as buyers are waiting for price stabilization. Rice is especially cheap in border communities, sometimes selling below 50,000 naira. Meanwhile, smuggling remains rampant despite customs enforcement. Beating, harassing civilians in military uniform wrong, says Army Chief. Major General Gold Chibuisi, Chief of Civil Military Affairs Army, condemned the harassment of civilians allegedly wearing military uniforms, emphasizing that while wearing the uniform unlawfully is illegal, violence against offenders is not acceptable. Speaking in Abuja, he stressed that soldiers should professionally arrest such individuals and hand them over to the police instead of assaulting them. Chibuisi noted that soldiers found guilty of assault are sternly sanctioned. He warned that criminals increasingly use military attire to commit crimes, complicating the identification of genuine soldiers. Citizens were urged to help discourage the illegal use of military uniforms to enhance national security. Chibuisi also emphasized that the Nigerian army belongs to the people and is working to improve civil-military relations through sensitization campaigns both internally and externally. Access Bank reacts as ex-worker is arrested for serial recording of colleagues in restroom. Access Bank is cooperating with authorities after a former employee, Stephen Ejezie, was caught secretly recording female colleagues in a restroom at the bank's contact center in Lagos. Ejezie, a quality assurance specialist, allegedly installed hidden cameras to film staff, some of which he reportedly sold on platforms like OnlyFans and Telegram. Following his arrest, over 400 video clips were found at his home. Access Bank confirmed the incident, emphasized its zero-tolerance policy on privacy violations, and assured ongoing support for affected employees. The bank also reiterated its commitment to employee safety and compliance with Nigeria 2023 Data Protection Act. Follow for more. April 28, 2025.